Senator O'Keeffe.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay.
Monsieur Trichet, bienvenue en Irlande.
Merci beaucoup.
Can I start by asking, the late and former Minister for Finance, Brian Lenihan, recalled in an interview that he did in September 2010 that he had picked up a message on his telephone, his own mobile telephone, from you on Saturday the 27th of September that said, "You must save your banks at all costs." Can you tell us what your recollection is of that phone call and what communication either preceded that or followed that, or what was going on at that time?
I have not read this paper. I had, contact with Brian Lenihan that were extremely confident, and you can see in the letters which have been published, which was the nature of our exchange. We had the sentiment that we cannot only rely upon oral discussions, that we had also to make things clear from his side and from my side, and that's the reason why we have written letters, which were at the time, as you know, totally confidential. I have not said that to Brian. We have said, all my colleagues and myself, not to Brian, to all governments, be careful. We had a drama coming from Lehman Brothers. It's a bankruptcy. It's an absolute drama. And all heads of state and government, to my knowledge, said there will not be a new Lehman Brothers in my courtyard. It was said by the Chancellerin, it was said by the President of the US, it was said by Gordon Brown in the UK, it was said by all heads of state and government. And there was absolutely nothing peculiar for Ireland at that time, nothing. Ireland was particularly aware of the fact that it was very vulnerable, and I guess that it is the reason why the guarantee was decided.
So just to clarify, Mr. Trichet, you or the ECB never gave any message to Ireland in September 2008 that no bank should be allowed to fail?
No message to Brian, no message to the government of Ireland. But if you read the papers at the time, all central bankers of the world were telling all governments, don't do again Lehman Brothers. So put that in your mind. But there was no call from me to Brian. It would not have been, in line with what we were doing at the time, again, as I explained.
And again, during the hours that followed Saturday through Sunday night, there were no phone calls, messages, conversations taking place between the ECB or its representatives and any member of the Irish government or officials over that 24, 36 hours.
To call for the guarantee?
Yes.
Again, no information of the guarantee, no call for the guarantee. And again, what I'm referring to was a blanket political guarantee, but not a legal guarantee, which was given by the various heads of state and government. They generally gave blanket political guarantee, but not legal guarantee. The legal guarantee was criticized by the ECB.
Yes.
In public. And the legal guarantee was the responsibility of the government of Ireland. And again, in a dramatic situation, I don't criticize the government of Ireland myself, even if there was a point that we noted as not being optimal from our own legal standpoint.
So the government didn't seek your advice and you didn't give it?
No.
And finally, you say in your own statement on page 7 today, the wave of debt maturing in September 2010 issued under the guarantee confirmed Ireland's loss of access to sovereign markets. Combined with other factors, the Irish government was confronted with no alternative but to ask for sufficient official support. Are you suggesting there, Mr. Trichet, that the guarantee, effectively, the guarantee caused the bailout to happen?
No, I don't say that. I say that in the circumstances, it was clear that there was a particular pressure which was exerted on Ireland. I would also say that it's difficult to redo the history of these dramatic events. As I said, at the time of the guarantee given by Ireland to its bank, they had to cope with a total collapse of the banking system because, again, it appeared that the banking system in Ireland was probably one of the most vulnerable of the world, taking into account the dimension of this banking system, the particular, I would say, inflation of balance sheets and so forth. So the possibility would have been perhaps a total collapse of the Irish economy at that time, and we would not be there to discuss the recovery of Ireland and the success story of Ireland, because there would be something totally different, a dramatic depression in Ireland. Again, we are speaking of a government which is not there anymore. We are, unfortunately, and I'm very sad with that, speaking of a Minister of Finance that passed over. I think that he did what he thought was the best in absolutely dramatic circumstances. And, of course, a lot of responsibility were here, but these dramatic circumstances were coming a few days or half days before from an incredibly dramatic event coming in New York, and which the wave was coming immediately in Ireland particularly, but in the rest of the world also, as I said.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Deputy.